dramatic and hair-breaking news for what is happened currently. The flood in Kelantan and Terengganu were worsened this afternoon when more victims are evacuated. The water level at four major rivers rose above the danger levels, with Sungai Golo at 10.34 meters. The other rivers which have breached the danger level were Sungai Galas 42.8 meters in Dabong, Gua Musang, Sungai Lebir in Tualang, Gua Musang 40.20 meters, and Sungai Kelantan at Tangga Krai, Kuala Krai 29.10 meters. In Kelantan, 20,000 victims from 600 families in 8 districts were evacuated compared to 19,000 people Tuesday morning, while the number of flood relief centers increased to 84 from 70. Residents in the affected area were moved out last night, and the Kelantan National Security Council was monitoring the situation. A total 90 centers are still operating, namely in Besut, Dungun, Hulu Terengganu, Kemaman, Kuala Terengganu, Marang, and Setiu. We have license coming up from there. So let's hear it from Asnadi, firefighter at the live scenes. So what will be your next plan after this, sir?
Okay, after this, we provide assistance after the flood disaster. First, we provide update on flood water increase. Second, we clean the mud in the school area. Third, make sure the disaster area is safe to return on their village. And lastly, send the flood victim back to their village using a truck.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
So what will be your next plan after this, sir?
Okay, after this, we provide assistance after the flood disaster. First, we provide update on flood water increase. Second, we clean the mud in the school area. Third, make sure the disaster area is safe to return on their village. And lastly, send the flood victim back to their village using a truck.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank you. So, here are the equipment, wise and life-saving equipment that have helped our team to finish our mission along this tragedy. We have lifeboat, life raft, and some canoe to transport need and the flood victim.
So ma'am, what action have you give to flood victim?
I am Shaza as a volunteer assigned to help the flood victim in this area. We start the task by distributing clothing, food, and basic necessity to all victims. Items such as clothing, food, basic items were obtained from the public and the donation of NGO. We will try to get them enough supply and give remedy to the one is need. And we also set an emergency response team at the transplant area for emergency situation. In any circumstances, the volunteers are always ready to give full support, and we always welcome people from any level to help us anytime. Home cleaning will be done by all volunteers involved along with the residents of this area. We also try to encourage the victim physically and spiritually to make them better after this incident. When we learn about the disaster, we work hard to establish a new organization to help the flood victim here, such as find as many volunteers as possible and necessity fund. Some are trying to raise funds by making charity out of the public, and we will try to help the victim here as much as possible.
Okay, thank you. So sir, what is your opinion toward this tragedy?
Okay, so as the Ministry of Environment, my name is Daniel. As you can see, we have camps behind here, and many are still stuck in the regional area where floods have been on crush. We are also seeking for shelter for these flood victims in our crucial concern currently, and my job is also to look after these helpless victims to ease their hardship that they have faced. What have I found that the system of our nation is not on their feet when things like this happen. What we're going to do now is always be ready to get dirt on our hands to serve for these people. So, our party will be going out in full force to collect donations in cash, checks, or in any kind. I am also personally getting in touch with business leaders in Kelantan or other neighboring countries to source for their assistance in sourcing for more donations. Last week, the Sarawak state government had given us donation amount of 2 million ringgit to the National Disasters Relief Body to help the flood victims in the peninsula. So I hope in future there will be more donations coming through in our pocket. So for the last 24 hours, the situation has been a bit slower as we are lack of helpers. So right now we need more volunteers and helpers, as many as we can. So as you can see, this is the worst ever flood we have encountered on the east coast. Food, fresh water and remedies to supply as many as we could. This catastrophe usually happens during monsoon season or the winter we call it. And for the future, of course, we'll stand both on our feet to look after before the greatest thing happens again. So that's my thing.
Thank you, sir. Hello and good morning. Today we have the United Nations representative from Malaysia. Let's hear from them.
As the United Nations team, we expect to provide a comprehensive analysis toward the end of the tragedy.
What are the concerns you are looking forward to?
Key concerns are emergency shelter, food assistance, clean water, protection of children, women, prevention of disease, access to essential health service, including reproductive health service, as well as protection against potentially increased risk of gender-based violence and human rights abuse.
What are the actions that taken by United Nations on the flood affected area?
The United Nations in Malaysia, collaborating with a wide range of partners, is supporting the government of Malaysia as its work to save life and bring food, medicine, shelter and other vital supplies to top people in flood affected area. With 4 days of heavy rain, the flooding in Kelantan, Malaysia, at least 59 died and 555 injuries. So far, the flood have affected over 184,000 households, mainly in Kuala Krai, Kelantan.
Thank you, ma'am. Can we hear from you how flood have been the most common tragedy every year?
Okay. In many parts of the world, flooding is a major problem. In the period from 1970 to early 2000s, storms and flood caused over 1 million deaths. This is an actual disaster. We are very concerned about the health and safety of the people. There is no place for people to sleep, no place for them to cook, all the firewood is wet, it is a disaster. However, floods are an integral part of the natural regime of a river. Thus, flood management plays an important role in protecting people and infrastructure from floods and flooding. Integrating flood risk into the management of water resources provides a rationale to shift away from a single focused approach, such as flood control, towards an integrated flood management approach.
So here we are at the scene. As we can see, many are at rush to get themselves calm and shielded from the flood. Volunteer and person in charge are working hard to get the situation at nominal level. I will end my part here and we can head back to the stage. I am Nurul. Have a good day. Thank you, Nurul, for the head update for the breaking news. Any donation and contribution to welfare of these people are most welcome. Moving on the next headline for the sport news. I am Zeti, will pass on to the one Zulkifli for his news updates. Thank you.